Our village lies quietly at the foot of the mountains, where endless grasslands stretch like a green silk carpet. For generations, peace reigned here, carried by the whispers of the wind and the fragrance of rice paddies. But peace never lasts forever. Wild boars, once thought to lurk only deep in the forests, have become a true nightmare for our people. They pour out in search of food, and in just a single night, entire fields are torn apart. The tranquility of our home now faces a grave threat. Enough is enough. Time to set out. It's our duty to begin the hunt for the sake of the villagers. Gu says hunting is as simple as pulling the trigger when prey appears. To me, every hunt is a battle of wits, where a single mistake can turn the hunter into the hunted. This is not just a game of bullets, it's a test of sharp instincts, patience, courage, skill, and above all, responsibility to protect the land we call home. Every step is a decision, every breath a calculation. And now, today's target has revealed itself. We were already high up in the mountains, chasing through treacherous and rocky terrain. Here, wild boars often hide behind cliffs and ridges, waiting for the right moment to strike. Then it happened. A massive, dark figure burst from a narrow path along the steep mountainside. As if lying in wait, the beast showed itself. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle and pulled the trigger. The boar stumbled, rolled several times, and collapsed. Lucky for us, it fell onto the path instead of tumbling into the abyss below, or else today's hard-won prize would have been lost forever. After a short break to catch our breath, we pressed on, following the tracks etched deep into damp soil and fallen leaves. At the ridge, I suddenly spotted a hefty boar charging across open ground, desperate to escape. Wasting no time, I aimed quickly and fired. The bullet tore into its flank, dropping it after a few staggering steps. At the same moment, my comrade Alex landed his shot on another target, and James, never one to be outdone, felled yet another beast with a clean hit. Victory was tilting swiftly in our favor. Standing atop a high, rocky outcrop, I scanned the vast wilderness below. Suddenly, a dark shadow streaked across the barren slope like a gust of wind. My scope locked onto it instantly. Heart steady, breath controlled. I tracked its wild dash and squeezed the trigger. The shot thundered through the air. A miss at first, damn it, but no time to falter. My fingers squeezed again. This time, the beast collapsed. Triumph, yes, but never arrogance. For behind every victory comes the weight of countless responsibilities. Wild boars are tough and relentless. To hunt them, a hunter must combine iron will with razor-sharp skill. The next morning, our hunt led us into endless stretches of open fields, where wild boars often lurk, waiting to strike. Rifles checked, radios ready, hounds growling with anticipation. It was time. Out there, the prey was waiting, sensing something unusual. My dogs erupted in furious barking, their cries echoing across the wide plains. My finger tightened on the trigger. Then I saw it. A wild boar barreled forward like a storm, tearing across the grassland. Escape? Not today. I raised my rifle, sights locked in. No room for error. One thunderous crack. A perfect shot, precise down to the last centimeter. The boar collapsed, and a deep breath of relief escaped me. Another threat neutralized, another piece of safety secured for the villagers. In the middle of the vast grasslands, mine never left the scope. My heartbeat quickened, every second stretched tight like a drawn bowstring. Then the chance came. A boar darted into view. No hesitation. One flawless shot. It dropped instantly, silence flooding the field. This was not just my victory. It was a warning. To any beast that dares threaten our land, there will be no second chance. Not far away, Alex was locked onto another boar tearing across the grass. I quickly repositioned, ready to cut them off. And then chaos. A whole herd burst from the thickets, charging like arrows loosed from a bow. Without delay, I fired. The first shot, also the only shot, struck true. One boar in the center of the herd tumbled, rolling hard before lying still. The rest seized the moment to scatter, vanishing deep into the forest. The hunt was over. Every hunt is not just man against beast. It's a reminder that peace must be earned through courage and responsibility. What we preserve is not the kill, but the protection of the place we call home. Though hunts like these happen across the world, the destruction of wild boars can never truly be stopped. That's why we remain steadfast, fighting for crops, for livelihoods, for peace. The sound of gunfire today was more than the echo of a hunt. It was reassurance, a promise to the people that their fears would be silenced. Our work is recognized and protected by U.S. authorities, carried out under strict regulations, with full support and insurance for safety. Thank you for walking beside us. See you in the next hunt. Florida is not a place that comes to mind when people think of hunting. People often think of Texas or Alabama, but for me, Florida with its vast swamps, dense palm trees, and wild vegetation is a paradise for hunters who love the harshness and drama. Especially when sitting in a buggy, you will feel like all the hunting trips are within your reach. As you can see, this buggy has no doors, is simply designed with a sturdy steel frame, large spiked wheels, and a gun mount mounted in front of the handlebars. The surrounding space was quiet, only the buzzing of insects and the steady sound of the engine underfoot. Suddenly, the sound of dogs barking rang out. A few dozen meters away from us was a large wild boar surrounded by a pack of dogs. The buggy stopped. I aimed carefully, determined the position, and fired. A loud explosion tore through the quiet air. The wild boar paused for a second and then crashed down. Although medium-sized, this wild boar was our first trophy. We continued deeper into the swamp. The place was overgrown with wild palms and low bushes. The buggy couldn't go very fast. I switched to slow mode and followed every movement of the hounds. Suddenly, several wild boars, all of them huge, rushed out from the bushes. Without thinking, we opened fire simultaneously. Perhaps frightened by the sound of the engine, they ran very fast, gradually splitting up, each running in a different direction. I continued south, where the terrain was flat and close to the grazing land, where wild boars often congregated because there was plenty of food. The car moved slowly, and at this time, we felt the cool summer breeze dispelling the heat. He spotted a herd of wild boars drinking at a small waterhole on the edge of the forest. Without alerting the herd, we got out of the car and moved to a clearing about 50 meters from the waterhole. Everything was quiet and peaceful. We aimed at the herd of pigs, targeting the largest ones. After an explosion, the largest wild boar fell down and the rest scattered. After harvesting the wild boars that were shot, we continued moving on the buggy. It was already afternoon. Our dogs also discovered the wild boar and tried to chase it. This time, one of our friends did not use a gun to take down the wild boar. He came up with the bold idea of catching the wild boar with his hands. Yes, you may find this sight hard to come by, but in some Florida swamps, it is not an uncommon sight. After an exciting session of catching wild boars with our bare hands, we continued to move on the buggy and search for wild boars. Wild hog hunting in Florida is not for the faint of heart. The sun, the bugs, the dirt, and the risk of a pig attack. But every trip is a challenge, a game between human bravery and the wild wisdom of nature. I drove back, my face and hands sunburned, my shirt covered in dust and sweat. The scratches from the bushes, the stinging mosquito bites, it was all worth it. I put down the gun, cleaned the barrel, and sat in the middle of the field in the hot sun, but at peace. Our hunting experience in the swamp has come to an end. How do you feel about today's video? Leave your comments below to let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive the latest notifications. Wild pigs are the #1 enemy of farmers in the area, including me. And the fight against them seems to be endless as they reproduce rapidly and cause terrible damage. Although many measures have been taken to deal with them, they are not very effective, especially in Texas, where they grow rapidly due to the abundance of food. Many veteran hunters in the area have honed their skills in hunting wild boars, killing one with one shot. The wild boars in this area are no joke. They are intelligent, stubborn, and extremely aggressive when attacked. Even so, we still have to confront them, not for the pleasure of hunting, but to protect the fields. We gathered early in the morning and planned an effective hunt. The group divided into small groups and assigned ambushes in different locations. Our indispensable companions were the hunting dogs. Experienced hunters say, hunting wild boars is not an easy task. They have thick, sharp tusks and are very intelligent animals. They are very aggressive and unpredictable when hunted. The fur and skin of wild boars are very thick, and they react very quickly, so it is not easy to take them down with a shot. That it didn't take long for the dogs to find a large wild boar. They surrounded and drove the prey to the location where we were ambushing, just waiting for the wild boar to appear. The bullet would kill it instantly. Just after killing this wild boar, a report came from the radio that there was a large herd of wild boars active in the eastern part of the mountain. We quickly moved there, and indeed a herd of about 15 wild boars was running away when they heard the gunshots. All hunting teams opened fire. We prioritized killing the leaders or the largest ones. To aim accurately is not easy. It not only requires the hunter's skills, but also depends on the type of hunting gun used each time. With good position and range, we shot down a few of the largest, the rest ran away in all directions. We divided our teams to hunt them down, determined not to let any wild boar escape. After many hunting trips, we realized that wild boars need to be shot accurately so that they cannot escape. Because if they escape this time, they will return and cause even worse destruction. Some of the wild boars escaped and hid in the dense forest. We tracked them down and killed a few more wild boars. In the afternoon, we gradually retreated to the area near the farm, where wild boars often appeared to feed. Sure enough, near the fence, we found a few wild boars grazing. A loud explosion tore the silence apart, and the wild boar collapsed on the spot. We quickly went to check and found that it was a giant wild boar. Before dark, we moved to the pig trap area to see if any were nearby. These traps are usually set around the mountainous areas, baited with corn kernels to lure them out. Approaching the trap, we found a wild boar. It was eating the bait while looking around warily. In fact, wild boars are very smart. They often run away when they hear strange noises or feel danger. Therefore, we need to approach them slowly so that they do not detect us. Suddenly, a gunshot rang out. It was my friend Evant next to me who fired. The wild boar collapsed, it struggled a few times, and then became still. Before returning to the village, we encountered another wild boar. Evant took it down with a single shot. After taking inventory and collecting the spoils, we returned to the village to rest and regain our strength. Every week, we organized a small-scale hunt. Every month, a large-scale hunt with the determination to not let them destroy the crops anymore. today's video ends here. Hopefully we will bring you an interesting topic. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.
Overnight, the land was plowed up, crops were devastated, and destruction was all that remained. There was no doubt a herd of wild boars had invaded this area. We immediately set out, tracking their traces to stop their rampage before it was too late. But wild boars are not easy prey. They are fast, elusive, and ready to fight back. Will we be able to reach them and take control in time? Stay tuned until the end to witness this intense chase. Wild boars are not just rapid breeders, leading to uncontrolled population surges, but they also possess terrifying natural weapons, their razor-sharp tusks. Their tusks never stop growing throughout their lives, and in males, they can reach up to 15 centimeters in length. They use these formidable weapons to dig up soil and destroy farmers' crops. That is why we cannot stand idly by. Arriving in Isparta, the city of roses in Turkey during this season, one is greeted with breathtaking scenery. Towering mountain ranges shrouded in mist, fresh and cool air, all of these create the perfect setting for an exciting and unpredictable hunting trip. Something just moved in the bushes. Oh, our first target has appeared. A precise shot rings out. The bullet cuts through the air, hitting straight for the wild boar. For the hunting dogs, this marks the grand feast that kicks off today's hunt. The thrill doesn't end there. We quickly spot two more wild boars hiding nearby. Gunshots echo once again, and in mere moments, both targets are taken down. The hunt is going smoothly, but is this the end or just the beginning? Stay tuned. With the goal of protecting the locals from the dangers of wild boars, we push forward, racing for new challenges ahead. Before us lies a dense cornfield, an ideal hiding place for wild boars. Finding them is no easy task, but the hunting dogs are already on high alert. They dash forward, sniffing out their targets and forcing them into the open. A shadow dashes out from the cornfield, but it's not that simple. It's fast, cunning, and constantly evading our aim. We have to make split-second adjustments. Shots fire repeatedly, and after a heart-pounding chase, the beast finally falls. The hunt continues as we press on into a new territory, a vast expanse of tall reeds towering over our heads. This is a paradise for wild boars, providing perfect cover for them to evade detection. But today, luck is not on their side. A quick scan, and we anticipate their path in no time. A gunshot cracks through the air. But it's not over yet. Don't be fooled. One shot is rarely enough to bring down a full-grown wild boar. Another boar has been flushed out, dashing madly for an escape route. But before it can get away, a perfectly timed shot. Dust and dirt explode into the air. Wild boars are not only ferocious, but also remarkably intelligent, comparable to dogs and even some primates. They have an incredible ability to avoid traps, sense danger, and strategically escape. Especially in these vast cornfields, they can vanish in an instant, making them incredibly difficult to track. But this time, there is no escape. We've set up everything, our weapons are primed, every route is blocked. Once they're in our sights, there's no way out. Wild boars can run at speeds of 40, 50 kilometers h and change direction in a split second, turning them into ghosts of the wilderness. But today, they are not the hunters, they are the prey. A bullet from a hunting rifle travels at 800 kilometers h, 16 times faster than their top speed. They don't stand a chance. One by one, their dark figures collapse in the smoke and dust. Amidst the vast, rugged mountains, the silence is almost ominous, as if foreshadowing the thrilling encounter ahead. The chase is on. The hunting dogs surround and corner the wild boar, but don't assume this is the end. A stream lies ahead. Without hesitation, the boar plunges into the water, swimming away effortlessly. And then, a shot rings out. The chase has reached its inevitable conclusion. What do you think about this adventure? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intense hunting action.